Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voices from the Mausoleum, and welcome back to another episode of Monday Morning Musings with my co-host JR from Horror Fiend TV.
How's it going, everybody? Halloween is around the corner, and the Halloween ends just, I don't know. Let's not get into that because we're going to be in a happy mood.
You can't,
You can't
you're
help
so
it.
triggered. You're like, I said the word
I'm
Halloween
so
and now I'm
triggered.
angry.
You're not going to see a little flash of my life in my eyes like Michael Myers did.
Stop. So today our musing for this episode is our favorite non-Michael Myers Halloween movie. So not a Halloween movie from the franchise, but just a movie that takes place on or around Halloween that is a horror film. Trying to think if I want to go first because I'm thinking about what we're doing next and if I want to go first on that one. You go first on this one.
Okay.
I'll go first on the next one.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Sorry. I'm so used to like a countdown. You're like, okay.
I'm just waiting.
Okay. It's Monday. For me, I gotta tell you that I will go with All Hallows Eve 2013 because it introduced the world to, I would say, possibly the next horror icon in Art the Clown, also known as the Terrifier.
Yeah.
It came out in 2013, and the funny thing people hopefully should know by now is that the original Art the Clown was played by Mike Gianelli, who then was replaced. Yeah, it was then replaced by David Howard Thornton, who basically took the role into another level. I haven't seen Terrifier 2, but I definitely want to see it. But I think this movie should be recognized as the one that basically introduces us to this character. And to top it off, it's almost like if we're found footage people. So the minute somebody finds a VHS and puts it on to watch it or something, you kind of know that it's pretty cool. So yeah, it's a babysitter finds a VHS tape, which basically features various sinister murders performed by Art the Clown.
That's cool. I've never seen that one.
You have to have the stomach for Art the Clown. I don't think it's for everybody.
I probably have the stomach to sit through it, but whether I'll like it or not is a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, it's a B movie, almost touching A, but it maintains the B slasher type feel to it because that's just the way it was originally a short film, done by Damien Leone, who now is, the guy's as a filmmaker, aspiring filmmaker. He's a good inspiration because he took a film with was a $300,000 budget and now it's pushing over $2 million, I think.
And it's an anthology, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's not the only story.
No, it's not the only story. There's also a sequel to it, which has a different killer, a guy with a pumpkin mask. But it's an interesting series. Yeah, if you're gonna want to look at the history of Art the Clown, definitely start with All Hallows Eve.
Yeah,
because it's a good, they're definitely a good Halloween film, and it's not a big like money maker. It was done out of love, and I love it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
You gotta watch it.
I think, my plan was to watch it this month. I just haven't gotten around to it because I was going to watch all of them since the new one was coming out.
Yeah.
But I just haven't gotten to it yet. And I didn't know, I had heard of Terrifier before, but I didn't know that it came from another, like I had never even heard of the other one, All Hallows Eve. I hadn't even heard of that. And so once the first Terrifier got traction, that was when I started hearing about where it came from. I was like, oh, okay. So
it's creepy. He's a creepy character. That's what I like about it. It's just no dialogue whatsoever.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything.
No, it's just his facial expressions are just. What's your pick?
So my pick is the 2019 Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Takes place on Halloween. It's PG-13, but I think it definitely has like a darker kind of feeling to it. I don't think it's super silly PG-13. But it's a Del Toro film, so he did, like, so it's got some really cool creature, it's got a really several just amazing creature designs. But it's a story about this house. It's like these kids break into this house on Halloween night, and they are one of them is like obsessed with writing and storytelling, and she knows like a lot of legends about their little spooky little small town, and she's like telling the story about the girl that lived in this house and how she used to tell stories to the neighborhood kids, and then like there's a lot of mystery around what happened with the family. They just like went missing one day and all this stuff. And so when when they're in the house, she finds the book that the stories were written in, and she takes it, and what happens is it activates the book, and then it tells stories as they're happening in real life, and it's about all these bad things that happen to these teenagers. And it's really good. Like it's very like, I've read, scary stories to tell in the dark. Like I'm familiar. I love the series of books of like, and then there's another series of books called that's kind of like, you could tell got like influence from them, called Nightmare Soup and the Nightmare something else Society, maybe. Anyway, but it's very similar artwork, very similar concepts, but it's a really unique way to have like, it's an anthology. Like it's got all these little stories in it, but it's all in one bigger story. And I really liked it a lot. I thought the teenagers did like a phenomenal job, and I just thought that the creatures were really, really unsettling, especially one in particular. And I just thought like it was just really, really well done. And there were just parts that were like gross. There's parts that are nerve wracking, and I just thought it was like a perfect like little PG-13 horror movie for Halloween.
I'll be honest, I haven't watched it.
I know we both picked something the other hadn't seen this time.
I mean, I've come close to watching it, but
it's good.
You know me with my. I'm sorry, PG-13 is a hard catch for me, so I rarely watch PG-13 horror. Maybe I should open myself up to it, but I don't know. It's just I have to get hooked in. When I see it, it's worse when I see TV-14 because I'm like, that movie should never been made. But no, maybe I'll give it a chance. I mean, Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, it's him. Like I haven't seen a single thing he's ever touched that I just didn't like really love in some way.
Antlers,
right? I'm trying to think if there's one I didn't like.
Antlers.
I didn't like it, but I love the creature design in Antlers. So, but yeah, I like everything he. And I didn't like Crimson Peak either. I like the ghost designs, but the story was garbage.
It wasn't scary at all.
It was so stupid. I hated it. And people were like losing their minds over it. Oh, it's so edgy. It has incest. Who gives a shit? Like, write about something else. I don't know what our fascination is with that. Like, move on. Anyway, yeah. I liked I think Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is really cute. It's got like it's not like overly scary by any stretch of the imagination, but it's got some moments that are just kind of like it's clever. It's a clever film. I like it a lot. And they've whispered off and on for a couple years now that they were going to do another, but I don't know if they've ever confirmed it or not, but it was a really good little like, and like I said, it takes place on Halloween, and it's got all of that shit, the small town stuff, the bullies, it's like all of that normal stuff, but it doesn't focus a lot on it. It's all about the stories, and the stories are scary. Like they're unsettling and gross and really well done in general. So I love that one. That one's one of my favorites. I've seen that one like 100 times.
And the way you describe it, it kind of reminds me of Creepshow.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, most horror anthologies, like my mind always goes to either Creepshow or Tales from the Crypt. Or I feel like there's another one. Is that it?
Tales from the Crypt? There's also Tales from the Dark Side.
Tales from the Dark Side. That's the other one.
Yeah. And just one more. Twilight Zone.
I love horror anthology. Anything that's like a bunch of shit into one thing, I love. Like I'm all for it. It's good. Because you get a taste of like all kinds of different things. And this is like this too. Like this, I feel like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is like all the stories are really different from each other, but it's like a way to get in a bunch of different subgenres into the same story. It's just I don't know. I thought it was really unique. You should watch it.
No, like for the All Hallows Eve, I mean, the storylines aren't the greatest, but it's just the introduction of this character that is very brutal. I mean, I
Yeah.
would say he's a lot more brutal than Leatherface and Michael Myers and Jason all combined. I mean, the guy is freaking ruthless. And I don't know if you heard the stories. I don't know if they're true or not, but people like fainting and throwing up in the movie theaters watching.
I follow someone who posted that their friend legitimately passed out and had to be taken out of the theater. I don't think like a lot of that stuff when people say that I'm like whatever.
It's the
But
acting movie.
I don't have a weak stomach like by any stretch of the imagination. Like when I was 18 I volunteered at in a morgue. I've witnessed autopsies. Like I've done stuff with homicide investigators for papers. Like I've sat. I worked with pathologists that were like taking apart tissue samples and like I mean I've done all like I've seen all of that stuff and so like I don't think like none of that stuff bothers me. So we'll see. We'll see what I think of it.
You got to watch it.
I will. I'm gonna watch, but I need to watch like all of them.
Yeah.
So stand alone from the fact though that it's like a start for him. Is it a good movie?
I mean, it's a good premise. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's written like B. It's a B movie. I mean, it's not like the greatest acting you're gonna see, but his performance in introducing this character is
It
so good.
shines it up. Yeah.
It's just. I mean, it's creepy to have a character. I mean, go back to Michael Myers, no dialogue. Even though you can see his facial expressions, but Art the Clown's facial expressions are just they're freaky. I mean, I'm sorry. If I see somebody just like that, I'm out. I'm not even gonna I'm out. I don't care where I'm at. I'm out. Getting in the car, I'm leaving town.
I'm out.
I'm out. But yeah, I mean, word to the wise, be cautionary because it is brutal, gory. So I don't, not everybody's gonna have the stomach to watch it.
What would you compare it to brutality wise? Is there anything that comes to mind? Like if you could handle this, then you can handle this, like
Trying to think. There's as far as gore, I mean, I know certain points of House of a Thousand Corpses were a little gory. I mean, that has nothing on this character, to be honest. It's hard to explain because it's like I don't want to give away some of the
yeah. No, you're fine.
but yeah, it's just it's definitely brutal.
Okay.
Caution. Think about it before you press play.
Don't think about it. Just do it, and then you can always pause it if it gets to be too much.
Yeah, or just stop it completely.
We have a mutual friend that couldn't get through the sadness.
Really? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love the sadness.
Me too. It's pretty dark and gory and crazy though. But yeah.
That would probably be the closest thing to the gore. The sadness.
Yeah.
But I would say Terrifier is a little bit more. So that puts a good point on it, yeah.
JR is secretly a serial killer. Okay, well, cool. Those are. Oh my god, no tangents. You almost started with one. Yeah, so those are our non-Michael Myers related Halloween movies.
What is yours? You should let us know so that way we could actually talk about them.
My next one would be probably Trick or Treat.
Oh yeah, everybody loves Sam.
So good. I know.
Sam?
I actually specifically didn't pick that one because I felt like it was like a duh,
Yeah. I mean, they just the guys just reviewed that, for like our last episode of Three Corners.
Yeah, I'll link that in the cloud. Yeah. One of my favorite Halloween movies is Paranorman. Have you ever seen that? The little animated family movie is so cute.
Is that the one with the dog?
The boy that sees the ghost. Yeah, there's a dog. The little Frankenstein dog.
Yeah,
no, that's Frankenweenie. That's a different one. But anyway, it's about the little boy that sees the ghost. Oh my god.
So Frankenweenie's so good.
It's so cute.
Oh, Frankenstein dog. No.
It's a kid. Anyway. That's all we have for this episode of Monday Morning Musings.
Yes.
This is our last episode before Halloween. So happy Halloween.
Dress up. Maybe leave some pics on what you guys dressed up as.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun to watch.
That's right, because like this month, yeah, it'll be the following Monday. So the Monday we don't have an episode is Halloween. That's right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So I hope you guys have a safe and happy Halloween. Enjoy the festivities because our time to shine is almost over, and we'll be back into Christmas bullshit before we know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The humbug.
Yeah. Exactly. That's how I feel too. Well, cool. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us this Monday morning. Have a good day and a great week, and we'll see you in the next one.
Drink coffee.